Ah, welcome. I've been expecting you for some time now. So you intend to seek out the legendary Scion of the Wild? Ah yes, much can be learned from this great forest guardian. I must say, you have chosen to undergo a task that is anything but easy. As to locate him, you would have to be able to talk to the other creatures of the forests, but luckily for you, I have some jungleberry tea. Oh, it is a wonderful tea that allows the drinker to communicate with animals for a day. I can give you some for your quest, but I will brew some for us now. I sure would enjoy some chatting time with my cat, Mr. Whiskers. Let's try it, shall we?
Oh, hey guys, I didn't see you come in. As you may know, I am Natural Wizard, and welcome back to my channel. Today is Friday, and that means this is my last upload for the week until Monday. But for today's video, we will be taking a little bit of inspiration from my sister, Madame Macabre, and we'll be doing something creepy with r/let's not meet. So let's all drink a potion of Fortify Courage, and let's dive in to the spooks. Rewind to year 2002. I was in a residential nationwide high school which was in Washington, D.C., and everyone knows that D.C. or any other major city can be dangerous. I was invited to visit one of my friends home from spring break. I met with some local students, boys, and all of them were cute. They invited me for a night out with them, and one of the boys borrowed his mom's van, wanted to go cruising around Phoenix and show me the sights. I was the only girl in the group of boys. There were 9 of us hunkered down in an old Dodge white van. One of the guys had a brilliant idea of doing drive-by egg throws, so they got eggs, and kept the van door open as they tossed eggs at pedestrians. This wasn't what got us in trouble. After all of our dozen eggs were tossed, we shut the van door and were getting ready to go home, and this is when crap went down. I was sitting in the back of the van. We were at a red light, in a silver Honda Accord that pulled up alongside us. I saw 2 men in the car, kept looking at us, and immediately one of them rolled down the window and actually showed his gun and was saying something that we couldn't understand. The light turned green. The boy driving his mother's white Dodge van tried unsuccessfully to dart ahead or even dodge, and that wasn't happening with 9 high schoolers in the van. We were chased by the silver Honda Accord. We tried slowing down or speeding up, making quick turns, but no luck. Their Honda Accord was easily able to keep up, and it wasn't helping that the streets were empty. We ended up accidentally cornering ourselves when we pulled into a water reservoir entrance that had a dead end. 2 guys came out of their Honda, the headlights shining into our eyes, and they had guns. I mean guns. They had 2 each and were using bandanas on their shaved heads. They were surprised by how many people came out of the van, and even more surprised that we were all deaf and were signing. They realized that we weren't throwing up gang signs at them. Then they just said, "My bad," and just left. Being deaf saved my life. So dudes in bandanas and Honda Accords that are in Phoenix, Arizona, let's not ever meet. Note, do not throw eggs at people. We were in high school and stupid. Oof, that's some pretty bad luck. A couple of gangbangers seeing people communicate with sign language in a van and mistaking it for gang signs? That story could have ended a whole lot worse than it did. But this story does have a bit of a plot hole in it. If they were all deaf, how could she have heard them say "my bad" before they left? But she is right. Don't throw eggs at people. Don't do stupid things. Even if you are in high school, 9 times out of 10 you'll probably end up regretting it later. But if you have to do something stupid, do something that won't really affect people, like, I don't know, lighting your farts on fire or something like that. Just be careful and don't actually set anything else on fire. Moving on to the next creep show. This happened earlier today at work and has left me shooketh. Probably not overly scary, but enough to freak me out. I work at a well-known funeral home in the DFW, Texas area as a secretary and PBX operator. I answer all incoming calls and direct them to the right department. I do everything from answering general questions to death certificates and obituaries. Overall, I work in a very vague position and have a lot of knowledge in the industry. We get prank calls every once in a while, but most calls are genuine, no matter how odd or creepy the call might be. I get calls from family members who have just lost someone or someone who is going to pass soon. So that being said, I'm pretty immune to the weird call vibe by now. That being said, here you go, Reddit. Thank you for calling. My name is blank. How may I assist you? I waited for the caller to reply, and an elderly, croaky man's voice chimed in on the other.
Yes, miss. I was hoping to ask you a question.
I took note that the person sounded a bit mentally handicapped, which isn't something abnormal for my line of business. Yes, sir. I would be happy to assist you today. What's your question?
Miss, can you understand me? I'm sorry, I was in a car accident some years ago, which left me unable to communicate properly sometimes.
Oh, yes, sir. I can understand you just fine.
Very good. I was hoping you could help answer some questions I had.
I will try my best, sir. If not, I'll get you to the appropriate person.
Well, even though I was in a car accident and disabled me greatly, I would like to medically preserve my brain when I die. Is this a service you offer?
I was a bit put off from the question. While I know some famous people have done something like this, the science just isn't there yet for there to be a good reason. Unfortunately, sir, this isn't a service we offer. You might want to try contacting the medical examiner. They might have more information.
Oh, well, I know I'd like to do this for me and my children and such. Does anyone there have any more information on this?
No, sir. Unfortunately, no one here would have any kind of information on that. Again, you might want to try the medical examiner's office. I was freaked out enough at this point, but it's not beyond what I've been through. This was where it started getting super freaky.
Well, miss, I think you should look into this. I would like to do this to keep my brain and my children's brains around in a jar or container of some sort. I would also like to keep yours as well, to preserve your life for me to watch when I please.
I was dumbstruck. Sure, we get prank callers, but you can feel those are a bunch of goofy people trying to play jokes. You know that they are fake. But in tone or how they talk, this guy was full on serious about keeping my brain in a jar for him to observe. I could feel his sincerity. I caught my breath and tried to remain professional and not lose my crap and hang up on him. For all I know, he could be suffering from Alzheimer's or something. Thank you for your consideration, sir.
Of course, miss. I'll contact the medical examiner's office. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. He cuts me off.
We will speak again about your brain.
And he hangs up. I hung up the phone, slowly, and found myself trembling. I spoke to my friend about it, and the best way to describe how I felt was this. Do you remember the first time you watched a scary movie? How you knew there weren't any monsters in the closet, but you still checked? How you knew there weren't monsters under the bed, but you still kept your toes under the blanket? How it takes years to get rid of fear that shouldn't be there? These irrational but primal fears. So caller who wanted my brain in a jar, let's not talk again. I'll be checking my closet tonight. Ugh, that guy freaks me out. What is he? Is he an ancient mad scientist that's discovered the secret to immortality?
I only need to harvest and eat 3 more human pineal glands. Then I can live for another 10 years. Oh!
No, sir. You cannot have my brain. But seriously, though, that would freak me out. Number 3. So I hadn't thought I'd have any other contributions for this sub, until a friend and I were swapping retail horror stories the other day, and I was reminded about another time someone gave me a gut feeling to run. For context, at the time, I was a teenager working at a small coffee shop a short walk away from my house as a barista, which involved forcing myself to be always bubbly and smiling despite the idiocy that transpires before some people get their coffee. Ahem. As a result, I've had a few experiences where men take friendliness as flirting and try their luck on me, but no one as creepy as this guy. He came in on a late Sunday afternoon shift when I was working alone as my coworker was far too sick to be touching food and went home early. He was dressed in an unassuming leather jacket and jeans and looked to be in his early 40s. After ordering a small coffee and paying with small change, he starts to try to hit on me over the counter, and I just brush it off and hand him some coffee. Then he tells me he recognizes me and that I must be from the area. I've never seen him before, so I kinda laugh nervously and deny it, and then he gets weirder. Then I've definitely seen you on campus. Do you go to blank college? I say no, given I've never heard the name before in my life. How about blank college? Nope. Definitely blank college then? Still nope. This goes on for over 10 minutes, and he's listed at least 8 different schools that I've only recognized one of, and it's clear that there's no way he's a student at any of them. Then he moves around to the small door that opens to let us out from behind the counter to clean the shop, and tries to get past it to come closer to me. Something really feels off, so I tell him a little forcefully the customers aren't allowed back here. He kinda laughs and makes a comment about how he knows he's not just a regular customer, and I'm just playing hard to get. I repeat again that no, he isn't allowed back here, and his face instantly becomes serious, and he totally shifts gears. So you're probably working until closing, huh? What time do you guys close? I follow my gut and lie that we closed at 2 a.m. when in reality it was 10 p.m. given it's a Sunday, and he nods and tells me, "Then I'll come back at 2 a.m. for you," and finally leaves. Given I've served some strange people at my time there, I tried to push it out of my mind and focus on work for the rest of my shift. My manager wasn't there at the time like usual. He only ever came in on Thursdays or Fridays, so I didn't get a chance to bring it up until then. When I did on my next shift, he invited me to come into the office and watch the night's security tapes just to ease my mind. And guess what? Creepy Dude had actually come back at 2 a.m. in a beat-up Honda on Sunday night. And the cameras caught him forcefully trying to open the front door and crouching along the windows of the cafe to try and see past the shades we put down at night. Eventually he stormed back to his car, which was one of the only 2 cars in the lot, and sped off. I have no clue what his intentions were in trying to meet up with a teenage girl at 2 a.m. on a Sunday, but I've never seen him since, and I sincerely hope we never meet again. "Oh, do you go to this college? Or how about that college? Or this one? Or that one? Not this one? No, not that one? This one? That one?" Okay, dude, I think it's become obvious that you're just listing off colleges to try and figure out where she goes to school, and probably stalk her, you freaking weirdo. And this guy actually showed up there at 2 a.m. I wonder what was going through his mind when he was trying to open that door. "I need to see my barista girlfriend to discuss coffee brewing techniques." No, it probably wasn't coffee brewing techniques. It was probably a lot of bad stuff. Actually, I don't want to think about what was going through that creep's mind. Yes, this has been my first creepy-themed video. And if you would like to see more creepy-themed subreddits, just let me know down in the comments. But anyway, I am just about out of time. So thank you guys so much for watching and spending some time with me. And as always,
Don't forget your tea before you go.